Good afternoon, Alan Vandenberg here, another episode of EQ for You, episode number 24. Today's episode is called A Big EQ Error Day, a big EQ error day. We're operating off of the idea that 75% of a person or team success is not their IQ. If you have not done so, you can purchase my new book that came out in 2020 called EQ Kill the Radio Star, How Emotional Intelligence Can Crush or Crash Your Organization. You can get that at alanvandenberg.com, amazon.com, or barnesandnoble.com. So be sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think it's just right down there in the lower corner there. Love to see you be a part of what we're doing here. So on to today's topic, a big EQ error day. So we all just are going through life every single day, trying to do the best we can not to make a mistake, not to make an error, especially a big error in front of others, on social media or anywhere. What we do when we have bad hours, bad days, bad weeks, bad months, and hopefully not too many of these, but bad years. In an article entitled, "In 9 Words, Serena Williams Just Taught Us a Major Lesson in Emotional Intelligence" by Minda Zelton from Inc. magazine, Minda describes what happened a couple weeks ago when the famous American tennis star Serena Williams had just lost the Australian Open semifinal match to one of her rivals. In Serena's post-match press conference, she presented these 9 words in response to questions as to why and how she lost the semifinals match. Serena Williams said, "It was a big error day for me today. It was a big error day for me today." So in reading that article, it got me to thinking, how many of us have had a bad EQ error day? Conversations that go sideways, getting irritated at coworkers, not staying focused and missing a deadline that was really important, or overusing our strengths to where it becomes a weakness. Maybe doing something like sending an email, a text, or a social post that maybe wasn't as well thought out as it should have been. What can we do after we've had our bad EQ error moment? The real answer is nothing. We can't change the past at all. It's over. So then what? We have choices. We can wallow in the past. We can start to figure out how to move forward. We can even pause and analyze to see kind of what happened. But we can't change the past at all. Not sure about you, but I try a lot of different strategies and steps to reduce unforced errors or low EQ moments. For instance, I don't like to send out important emails in the late afternoon. I'm just not a very detailed person by nature, so I make a conscious effort to review projects, plans, budget numbers, detailed information. When I'm having a conversation or needing to have a very important conversation, I take time out to map out this crucial conversation. Maybe sometimes talking to trusted coworkers about how the impending conversation is going to go. And even after all of that planning and all of that strategy, I still have low EQ errors. How about you? How do you feel when you work really hard in trying to not make a mistake and still you make an error? High EQ, emotional intelligence, is not about being perfect, because that's just not going to happen. It's not possible. High EQ is about how we respond to errors, situations, and issues that present itself during our day, during our week, during our month, during our year, and during our entire life. High EQ is oftentimes about balance. If we shrug it off and act like we really don't care, that's what people think is we don't care. If we dwell on the error too much, it could prevent us from even moving forward. Serena Williams, in her post-match press conference, did not blame anyone or anything. She was emotional for sure, but instead of saying something or doing something emotional, which would have maybe have led to a greater EQ error day, she just got up from the interview and walked away. I wonder for me sometimes how many times I should maybe take a pause and say something like, "Well, can we talk about this later?" Big error EQ days are frustrating, difficult, draining, and oftentimes lead to even more wrong decisions. Last week, I had a very mentally draining week. Lots of decisions and long days at the office. Even though I was not on the top of my EQ game, I really needed to and did schedule a Friday afternoon meeting. As I got to the meeting, I had my agenda and started the meeting with my agenda. Have you ever done that before? Walk into a meeting, here's my agenda. One of my coworkers told me once, not twice, but 3 times that my agenda item was really the second item and not the first, and that we needed to discuss another item first. Did I mention that he told me this 3 times? I finally did actually hear the message and stopped talking and listened. As I listened, the team worked through the real first agenda item. I will admit, I had a bad EQ error moment at the start of that meeting. I was not listening like what I should have. As the meeting came to a close and all the agenda items were resolved, even mine, I said to those in the room, I apologize for the beginning of the meeting. I am just totally mentally exhausted. Lucky for me, my colleagues were so forgiving and understanding. They said to me, it's okay, we're all good. We got it. We got the agenda items taken care of. So to even attempt to make a mistake-free life could be difficult, but it's not even possible. So what can we do? What can we do to reduce bad error EQ error days? Well, the first thing is to focus on you, your self-awareness and your behavior. Are you even aware that you're having a big EQ error hour, day, week, or meeting? How do you know? Do you have trusted people around you that would tell you that you're having this big error EQ moment? Knowing that you had that bad EQ error day, are you even aware of it? The second thing is moving forward. If there's an improvement or change that you need to make it. Only you can do that. Only you can make the change. As a leadership coach, sometimes people are paralyzed and can't move forward at all, sometimes for years. It is important to move on. For Serena Williams, the tennis player that we spoke of earlier, if she just replayed her bad error day over and over and over again and never moved on, then the probability of her winning the next match becomes much more difficult. It's time to move forward from our bad EQ error day, week, month, and for sure a year. So, parting thoughts for today. Find what you do, what you were made to do in life, and do that to the best of your ability. Don't allow anyone or anything to steal your joy and your happiness, and live life every day, because nothing is guaranteed. Hopefully this episode was fun for you. I enjoyed it. A big EQ error day. Please take the time and move forward from your bad EQ error day and move forward. Talk to you soon. Thanks.